So we got some fairly big news today for Duel Links, right, and for Milestone, and the OCG of course was the OCG time stream. We had big reveals for Burst Protocol, we had a brand new box confirmed for Rush Duel in Duel Links, we've got a brand new structure coming as well, including cards coming to Milestone, Duel Links and OCG at the very same time, which is really cool. Now, are the cards themselves good? We'll have to wait and see. Of course, we don't know if there's going to be any skills coming for these cards, and so that might make things way better or way worse, we don't know. But first of all, is a brand new box of Rush Duel, yet another Degba box. Now, you'll know I don't really like these products on a conceptual level because it is just reselling you on majority of the same things over and over again for Rush Duel. If we go back to our last box, right, which was a deck build, you were resold on the Dragon stuff and the Magnum Overlord stuff. And this has been in now, what, 3-4 boxes, right? It's a little bit out of hand. Right now, of course, it's good for new players coming to the game, they can get the cards more accessible, but for the people investing in the format, it does kind of suck. It's kind of why Duel Links Rush in particular, without a crafting system, feels really, really bad. Of course, go back to the last one, being the Mataran one, which of course gave us Shady, one of the best cards in the format. Now is going to kind of be joint with this brand new one, right? Full Mataran of the Light Wings, because we are getting new Mataran support, new Rebel support, and we don't know much else. Now, in terms of the cards, right, Full Mataran Registrar is really, really solid. You can either bring out a level 9 Cyborg from your graveyard to your field defense mode, or you pop face on Cyborg your opponent controls. Now, really good of course against maximums, against big bodies like the Shining Flare Wingman or the Galactic Oblivion, right, for our current format. This will see play in the deck, but without more Mataran support, is it going to be that insane? I don't really think so. Now, obviously, we would love a skill. We'd love a brand new skill, but we don't know if we're getting that yet. In terms of other cards, right, what's left? Well, you've got Mataran Fusion, which would be cool if it came, because it does recycle your fusion material or the fusion of graveyard, right, that's pretty big. But it won't change that much. Now, the bigger deal, I think, is going to be if Konami decide to give us the traps. Like, if we, for some reason, got Arc Turnover, which is a bonkers Miracle Fusion in your opponent's turn plus a pop. We won't get that. If they give Turn Back, which is a Monster Reborn, if one of you guys dies, they won't give us that either. So we'll have to kind of wait and see like how good this box is going to be for the Mataran side of things, but overall, this being a one-of is plenty fine. We've then got the Hard Rock for Rebels. Now, this I think is a really solid little anti-maximum card, right? So if you start by tripping off 2 level 7 high fiends, which the skill does kind of turn on for you, you can choose 1 level 7 or higher monster your opponent controls, you burn them for, 1000 plus damage, right, if the attack points are much higher, then this gains attack equal to that monster's attack. So you're guaranteeing to clear a really big body. Now, we've of course got the maximum, right, the Beast Steam that does turn off special summon effects, and so given this won't be using a special summon, right, you play the skill, get 2 bodies, summon this, you'll have a built-in out the maximum, which is pretty good. Now, is it the most insane Robots card in the world? No, it's just a really cool tool to have in the deck, and so hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll make the deck a bit more playable. But also, we're getting Cul-de-sac. Now, this in the OCG was really, really good back in the day. It's a couple years old now, and so at the moment, it's not really doing much, but it is a free special summon by having another fiend in your hand. It does give your fiends a bit of a buff. That's neat. The bigger deal is it's a 6, and so you can go into, say, your Heavy Metal and get a pop, right? Or go for your Growl, and then you get a debuff. And ideally, but we're not getting it, at least as far as we know, ideally, you'd go for the progressive, right? Which is back removal, and then you pop a face down. But Konami don't seem to want to give us this one at the moment, so probably you have to wait a ways longer for that one, which does kind of suck. Now, if we go and look back at the last step, right, what was new? So we had 1 new card here, 2 new cards, 3 new cards, 4, 5, 6, right? 6 new cards, and then some Overrush rares, some selection box reprints, right? And so if we go back to the last one as well, one before that, it was, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new cards. So we know 3 of our 6 new cards. Now, what else could come in the box? Well, that's the thing. This Degba box, right, that we want to look at now, right, it's Mataran themed, but there's randomly machine stuff, there's randomly, Yammer stuff in. And Registar is in this box. Are they going to go and reprint Registar in this box because of this one in this box? Like, are they going to do that? They might do, which would then mean Registar is now in 3 boxes, which would suck for the long-term Rush player base, right? If we go back to the Selection Box Volume 3, well, it does seem kind of likely that we're going to see a reprint of Heavy Metal but in non-rush rare. Because we saw that with the Divine Dragon, right? So that probably is going to happen now. It's also weird because we've got all these Raw Rebels in the selection box, and so if they're going to reprint them all in a deck build, it kind of cuts the legs off this selection box really quickly. Right, this was June 27th, and we've had what? We've had this reprinted, we've had this reprinted, and we also had the skill change, the Cyber Dragon. Does that mean they're going to put Processor in this box? Because they really could do, right? They really could do, and it would make sense. Now, you probably would have actually, confirmed a Cyber Dragon card here if we were getting that. So I imagine they're going to save it for a future table box, just kind of keep the value in that box a little bit longer, especially because I believe at the moment they're not available. No, they're available? They should be, right? Because it's a brand new world update, right? They should be available. Then we've got the brand new Structure Deck EX Corpse Salamander, focusing around BES. Now, this is a theme that's really cool conceptually, right, in terms of the card designs, but the deck itself hasn't been good, ever really, in OSG, in Duel Links, in Master, and we're getting 4 brand new cards. Now, 3 of them are coming in the deck, one of them is coming elsewhere. We don't know where, but this one is by far the weakest of the cards. It's a effect that works on the battle phase. You can summon Machine from hand, or send level like Machine from deck to graveyard. Well, of course, working really with the main phase 2 strategy, and so in Duel Links doesn't really work out that well. And of course, if destroyed, it does float, which is cool, but that's about it, right? I don't think it's a great card to play in modern day Duel Links. Now, the rest of them are pretty cool. So first of all is BS Metal Slave. This card is bonkers when you read it, right? This card mills 5 level 10 low BS monsters from your deck, and then summons itself out. And it gains counters equal to the amount you send. So you send 5, it gains 5 counters. Then once per chain, remove a counter, then pop 2 cards on the field, including BS you control, which is really, really cool interruption, right? That's really, really solid if we had a way to protect our BSs. Now, there is a really good card we don't have yet in the game called BS Zelos. It's a field spell. It gives your monster tap points. It gives them anti-targeting and draw by card effects, but only from your opponent, not from you. And all these old BS cards, they can't destroy by battle. It's not destroyed by card effects, so you've got to find ways to keep putting BS cards on the board to fuel this popping to be live, right? And so this will probably end up being a neat control deck-ish, and then you just kind of go face and hopefully you kill them that turn. That's all I can kind of see the deck being, right? Then we've got the Derringer Core, reveal the BS in your hand, summon this card out, it gains 3 counters. Okay, quick remove a counter to either search out your Boss Rush or a spell that mentions it, which is going to, of course, be the brand new spell we're going to talk about. Boss Rush is a not so great card, right? It has normal summons, which means that something like your Type L is not going to be used really in the deck at that point, which is not great. It doesn't give you a float in the turn into literally anybody in your deck. And then some of these have effects when they're summoned, and so they'll gain counters they can't be destroyed by battle, but they aren't going to be doing much by themselves, right? It's going to be controlling with hand traps, controlling with imperms, and then hopefully getting this effect off, getting multiple bodies on the field, and then attacking for 3,000 plus damage. It says 19, it's meant to be 3,100. Or you can bring out a level 9 low BS monster from your graveyard, which seems good, right? Until you read what you've got. You've got the Cannon Core, which is a 25 body that comes from battle. Okay, Big Core MK3 comes from battle. MK2 is much the same. Tetran is much the same, but it does have back removal built in. So if you can get this to your opponent's turn, then that's going to be good. But this only gets counters normal summon, which means we really do need the Zelos to give that card a counter when it's special summoned. The cards in the deck aren't really that good, right? This new spell is pretty cool. When you play it, and it be a monster, fantastic. Once per turn, pop a card in your hand or on your field. If you do, you summon out a light machine with 1200 attack points or 1000 less defense in your deck. So, obviously intended for the Vic Viper TL, or the other Vic Viper cards we have in the game. And then you can banish the card from your graveyard to place a Boss Rush from your deck or graveyard to your field. And Boss Rush, of course, being the continuous spell that turns into normal summons, but does give you a free special summon end phase if a BS is destroyed. So, I think this new one here, this boss, is really, really good. I just don't think at the moment there's enough archetypally for this deck to be all that amazing. Now, if we get a skill that does some cool things, then that might change. But given the current metagame in Duel Links, right, if we look at the tier list and we go, we go Blue Eye, Shadow, Sheena Birds, Chimera Despia, this is nowhere near going to hold a candle to these decks. Obviously, would be cool if proven wrong. That'd be great. We'll find out next week when it's released, I believe, on the 25th, so literally a week away. You've got the brand new Rush box releasing alongside Tiger's event. A few days later, you've got this deck releasing, and then alongside the Vector rerun on the 29th-ish, around then, you've probably got a main box coming to go into the Casey Cup in November. That's what we kind of expect every year, and so probably going to stick to that one. So we'll, plenty of content coming for Duel Links. Hopefully this does well, but I don't really feel super duper positive, at least right now. And again, it does depend on if we do get the field spell. If we don't, then the deck is going to really struggle, because it really does need the field spell. Now, could they do something stupid like put the field spell in the main box? I would not put it past Konami. I would not put it past them, but given that BS doesn't really have much to reprint in the first place, all of these are level up cards or event cards, right? They must put this in the game. They must. Fingers crossed. Anyway, let me thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. Adios.